Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we are here to talk about All-American Homecoming Season 2, Episode 15, titled Diary Season Finale. Guys, I can't believe that this was the season finale. I just got done watching it, and I gotta admit, it was a pretty good season finale. We got a lot of things wrapped up, but the biggest thing that I wanted wrapped up this season didn't end up happening, which I was really pissed about, and we definitely got some surprises that makes me interested in coming back for season 3. I'm not sure if that got announced yet, that we are getting a season 3 of All-American Homecoming, but either way, this was just a really, an okay, a pretty good, season finale. Really, what Simone's going through in this episode, she is actually going to have her exhibition match. Turns out that, the board of Bringston doesn't want to give them the extra money that they will need to have the extra exhibition match. I guess there is more cost than, they originally thought, and they're not willing to give Amara the money so that way they can have that exhibition match. But, suddenly out of nowhere, Simone, I guess, someone that was in the tennis world, I guess, really felt for Simone and the whole tennis team having to deal with what they had to do with being racially profiled. So, the person wanted to donate money so that way they could have their exhibition match, which it worked out at the end of the day. I was happy they were able to have their exhibition match, of course, after the GCA, I guess, wouldn't let them, since the whole GCA trying to, bribe them, saying, oh, we'll let you, continue the year, but you guys have to not, you guys can't do your rally if you want to play this year. Pretty much trying to silence them, but I'm glad they ripped up those, contracts that, the GCA wanted them to sign, and they kind of still got to have their exhibition match and got the end of the year, on a right way, because, I really felt bad that they weren't able to, no one was, no one was having their back after what happened. No one was doing it, and they ended up losing out on finishing the year on a strong way, the right way. But they did the best that they could, and they realized this is better than us not finishing out our tennis year at all. We get to have an exhibition match, and we get to end it on a good note, and the way we want to end it. So I mean, even though it's not through the proper channels of them ending the tennis season in the right way, and it helps with their stats and everything going into the next year, it is what it is, where they get to end it in the way that they want to end it by having this exhibition match. Whether it may not count, it's something that makes them it makes them feel better and makes them be like, oh, we're not going to end this off where they get to win and we can't finish out the year the way we want to finish out the year. We're going to have this exhibition match and we're going to treat it like it's a real game. So I'm really glad that they made the best of the end of their tennis season, the best that they could. And also, what's going on, we get kind of a sum up for what Keisha's going through in this episode, which I was really glad that we kind of now know, Keisha's back from New York, got the information that she would need to kind of set up Dr. Pace and kind of get revenge. I'm really glad that she came, that Amara set, Keisha on the right path of kind of giving Dr. Pace a heads up about what Keisha did, about bringing back her old dance teacher, and also bringing back her old dance students, pretty much kind of to stop this cycle of how Dr. Pace gets these students in, but treats them the right way that she claims to get her dancers ready for the real world, but it gets to the point where they're not able to build themselves back up because she breaks them down so much to get them to the place that she thinks that they need to be to be successful. But in reality, it's once they fall, they feel like they can't get back up because they've been pretty much beaten down so hard by Dr. Pace's teachings. So I'm glad that in a way that yeah, I mean, I don't like Dr. Pace, and I don't like what she did to Keisha, but at the same way, that's not Keisha to want to, embarrass Dr. Pace like that by having all of her old, former students come back and her whole dance teacher to come back to ruin Dr. Pace's night. I'm glad that Amara sent, Keisha on the right path to be, to warn Dr. Pace, so that way Dr. Pace could take the high road and really take a step back and realize, oh my God, if I am just like my dance teacher that made me feel like I was nothing, that made me feel that, I wasn't good enough, and that treated me like crap. So, and I took those teaching methods and I put it towards my students, and look, and I'm doing the same thing that got, that I got taught by a person that I didn't like. I'm doing the same thing and I'm teaching my students the same methods that my old teacher taught me, and that made me feel bad. So I'm glad that Dr. Pace is going to take a sabbatical and really like take a step back and realize that, oh my God, like I am just like my teacher, and that's the last person I want to be. I need to find a new way. I need to like refine myself so that way I can come back strong and teach them the way I would, like, that I originally wish I was being taught when I was doing dance class by my former teacher. So I'm glad that, Dr. Pace, her taking her sabbatical and her taking her absence, this might make her become a better dance teacher maybe in the next season. If she'll come back next season, I'm not quite sure. Who knows? But I really feel bad for Keisha because she has to take summer school because of the fact of her not getting that passing grade, I guess, to kind of, graduate that year for that semester. So really she has to do summer school to graduate for that semester of her first year of college. So in reality, it sucks, but at the or maybe second year of college, I can't quite remember. They might have been their first in season 1, and now this is their second year semester. And now they're about to go into their third year. So I guess second semester of college, she has to get her credits up and stuff. I'm really glad for Cam in this episode because Cam is now a part of the KEK. I thought it was really cool at the end of the episode where it was like Simone and her I forget what her sorority is called. I think it's called let me know because I totally forgot the name of her sorority, but I like how KEK and her sorority kind of did the step competition at the end of kind of like accepting one another in they're both her sorority and his fraternity. I thought that was really cool, and I love the stepping in this show. I think it's phenomenal, and I think when we have dance sequences in here, I find it just to be like really sick. So that was a really cool thing at the end of the episode that we got that, and now things are going well for Cam about him being a part of a brotherhood. And Cam has come a long way from someone that really did not get along with Simone in their first kind of campfire, for their first year in college, and Simone telling him to back off and stay away from me, to have them both being in each other's lives and them really becoming family, her and Cam. So I'm really, and Cam now finding a new brotherhood because he no longer has football. So I'm really glad that he's a part of KEK, he has brothers, him and JR are kind of like now brothers too. Sadly, JR had to kind of take the fall because of that Jerry dude, that old alum that came back that was kind of wanting things to go back to the way they were. And now since that dude can't get in trouble, JR had to kind of take the fall, I guess, so that way KEK, that new year, that new line of KEK members could stay a part of KEK, and KEK's legacy wouldn't be destroyed. He had to take the fall, and I think he's no longer a KEK. I think him taking off his jacket kind of symbolized that, so it kind of sucks that he's no longer KEK. But I'm really glad that JR gets to do got accepted in that kind of a part of that baseball team, it's like a summer baseball team. He got accepted in it. Same with Damon. But really, I'm concerned about is I know that JR had was sick when he was younger, and his nosebleed. He was having a nosebleed at the end of the episode. Does this mean he's starting to get sick again? I'm concerned. What does this mean? I feel like I'm really feeling bad for JR because it's he wanted to do what was best for his brothers, and he didn't want his brothers kind of taking the fall for false leadership on some old alum coming in and kind of saying that this is the way we do things, and kind of putting JR in the position where he would have to take the fall for one of his KEK brothers getting hurt and things going too far, and wanting to save KK's reputation, but not only that, but save future KK future KK pledges that want to come and be a part of that brotherhood that won't be tainted. So it makes sense, but I feel really bad because it's he lost KK. Yeah, he's accepted in doing this baseball thing this summer, but is he really going to do it because now he's getting sick? How long has he been sick? Did it just start? I'm concerned. I feel like this is all he has, and I feel like he will push himself to go do this, even though he is sick. I'm scared to think that that character, will somehow he will get sick to the point where maybe he won't ever be able to play baseball again. Will he get sick to the point where maybe that character will, die? I hope not. I'm really concerned for the future of that character because I feel like, he's starting to lose so many things. I feel like if he loses baseball at this point, he'll feel like probably he has nothing else to really kind of like live for. And I'm just really scared to see where that will go going into season 3. But I'm at the same time, I'm really happy for like him stepping up for, his KEK brothers and didn't want them getting in trouble, but I really feel bad because I feel like he's going to start losing a lot more. He lost KEK and he might now lose baseball because he is sick again. I am really happy for Damon in this episode, all things considered, on the fact that Simone could not choose in this episode. That's how he left it, where she couldn't, she left it texting them both, and we kind of got from her perspective of her looking at the camera saying, like she was saying to the person, whether it be Damon or whether it be, Lando, saying that I decided and I choose you. We're not quite sure who she chose, and it really upset me that was kind of like something Damon didn't get didn't get an answer on in a way. But I'm glad he didn't let that control himself, like for him wanting to be a part of also that team. And that summer baseball team with JR. I'm glad that they're both in there, but I feel like it really annoys me because we won't know until going into season 3 who Simone is going to choose. That really frustrates me that he kind of has not had that answer, but I'm glad that it didn't affect him in this episode, and he kind of was focusing on the interview to be accepted a part of that summer baseball team, with JR, and pretty much do summer ball, because when it makes them, it's like practice when you do summer ball, being on instead of just stopping for the year and then having to train and do and kind of in a way not improve. They want to be a part of this summer baseball team so that way they can improve going into the next year, so that way they can win their championship. So that's smart when athletes do that, when they don't just stop and they still keep practicing over the time of them being on break off of practice. They'll still keep putting in the work. I was that type of athlete when I did track. I always kept wanting to put in the work even though I didn't have track practice. I was that person when I was in track practice. A lot of people wanted to goof off and not go all out. I went all out. That's just being a good athlete, and they want to be good athletes. So I'm excited. I'm happy that they both got accepted in. I'm happy in the midst of all on Marcus interviewing, kind of getting Damon ready for his interview. He was making the hard questions to Damon on what an interviewer is going to ask. Nothing is too personal for them to ask. They're gonna ask you because everything is fair game. And Marcus was trying to set Damon up for that, even though Damon didn't make it. Damon thought it wasn't like that. Even though Damon thought of it in another way, what are you doing? Why are you asking me these personal questions? It shouldn't be about that, when it's yeah, it is about that. Marcus is trying to get you ready for the questions that they will ask. Nothing is too personal. They're going to ask you. Everything is fair game in this in this kind of in sports. Everything is fair game when you're in this kind of arena. So I'm glad that him Marcus asking him the questions of why is it that why is it that Jesse left or whatever, what made him leave and step down after he got the head coaching position here at GAU, what made him leave. And it's the questions that Damon wants to go finally ask Jesse and finally have that kind of sit down for him, kind of now being ready for Jesse kind of to be his father now. I'm really glad that that's how we ended this episode, where things are on the up for Damon. He got accepted into this summer baseball team, but not only that, he gets to he feels finally like he's ready to actually start a relationship with Jesse. He's finally ready to have that talk, and I'm really glad. It took forever for Damon to be ready, but I'm glad that he's finally ready, and things are on the up for him until they find out about JR being sick again. I think Damon's gonna worry that he is no longer a priority anymore, and maybe Damon will feel that way because Jesse is going to want to focus more on JR, because that's how it was when JR was sick. Jesse had no time to deal with another kid that he thought wasn't his kid. So I'm afraid that, while things are on the up for Damon, once they find out that JR is sick, Damon's going to feel oh my God, this is how it was before. You're ignoring me. I'm not as important to you as JR is. I feel like you're picking favorites. I feel like Damon might feel that way. I hope not, but I feel like that's exactly what's probably going to end up happening. But I feel like JR is not gonna let that happen. He's I'm not gonna let you prioritize me over Damon. We're all here together. We all you all need to be here for me. Like, I feel like that's what's gonna end up happening. He won't let it get back to that point where like he's not JR's not gonna let him be the reason again that Jesse ignores or prioritizes him over Damon. JR won't let that happen where he's like, I'm not gonna let you prioritize me over Damon again. That's not happening again. This is gonna be different. Yeah, I'm sick right now, but like, you're not gonna do that. We are both your son. You're gonna be here for both of us. Not one's more important than the other. I hope that's what happens in that situation of JR saying you're not gonna do this again, Jesse. You're not gonna ruin a relationship that Damon was finally ready to start a relationship with you, and you're not gonna ruin it by focusing only on me, regardless of my regardless of what's going on with me. But other than that though, like Simone, I'm glad that she is a part of her sorority. I'm really glad about that. I'm glad in a way that things are going so well for her, but it really annoys me that she's playing this game with Lando and Damon. It's like, make your decision. You clearly love Damon. Tell Damon you love him. I swear to God, if it's like we still spend that, like we still kind of like she says, I choose you. I feel like she's gonna end up choosing both of them. Like, I choose you. Like, I'm not gonna date either of you. I feel like she would totally do that. Like, I choose you both. And I hope that's not what the writers are going to do going into season 3. I just need her to choose. Like, this is ridiculous. And I feel like she's probably going to choose Lando, which is so dumb to me, because Lando, you could tell, was so trying in this episode and also the last episode where like Damon told Lando how he felt about Simone, and then Lando tells Simone how he feels and like says, I don't want to be just friends with benefits. I actually want to be with you. He wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for Damon saying that. If it wasn't for Damon telling Lando that he told Simone that he loved her, he wouldn't have done that. And you could tell he was trying so hard, trying to kind of shove it in Damon's face in this episode. Just being honest, but he's like, I'm just being honest about how I feel about Simone, because that's what Damon said in the previous episode. It's like, bro, shut up, bro. Like, she doesn't love you. She loves Damon. I just need them to end that right in episode 1 of season 3. Like, let's not prolong this. Let's not choose Lando, because all of us will be like, that's bullshit. She does not love Lando like she loves Damon. And we all know eventually if she does choose Lando in the beginning of season 3, she's just going to break up with them, and her and Damon are going to get together by the middle or by the end of season 3. Just spare us that. Just make her choose Damon. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't want a full season of the whole, will she be with Damon or will she be with Lando? I think it was rude in general that, she was all giddy with Lando in the last episode after she kissed Damon in the previous episode. So she really, in reality, she cheated on Lando because technically they were together. And not only that, she's lying and keeping and not having the conversation with Damon and leaving Damon like high and dry and not giving him that conversation that will allow him to move on. So it's like, I really don't like what Simone's doing, and I just want her to just be honest with herself and choose the person she wants to be with. Simple as that. Like, I need that in season 3, or that's going to annoy me. But the biggest thing on this episode is definitely Nate becoming GA president. Yeah, I'm gonna check. Yeah, or SGA president. Which made me glad. I was like, of course, I kind of knew that was gonna happen, that Nate was gonna be SGA president. I knew it, and I'm glad because Nico can get out of here. I don't like that character, so I'm glad that Nate won. Nate deserves the win. And not only that, Nate won on becoming SGA president, but Nate won in another way, finding kind of her secret admirer in this episode, which his name, if I'm correct, we end up finding out it's the reporter dude that wanted to kind of interview her in the last episode. I think his name is I'm trying to remember like what his name is. I have it like right here. His name is Ryan. So this character Ryan is the one that has been giving Nate notes, was Nate's secret admirer. And the only reason Ryan didn't say anything is because he thought he was out of Nate's league and Nate would never date him. And Nate's like, the first thing I'm going to do as SGA president is I'm going to kiss you. And I was like, let's go, Nate. You won on both fronts. You found your Prince Charming, and you also became SGA president. I'm so happy things are so great for Nate right now. That was probably the best part of this episode, was these two great things happening for Nate. Nate is on the high right now. You know what I mean? And kind of like everybody's in a good place when it comes to all of her friends, except the fact of I'm like, then of course Nate doesn't know about what's going on with JR, and no one knows what's going on with JR, and I feel like that's going to be the biggest like the biggest kind of like plot line next season of him like probably being sick again. And I'm worried that, it'll be a thing where, like, you're sick, you can't play, and also there's a chance that, you only have this certain amount of time. I hope they're not going to do that. I'm really hoping, but honestly, I could see them doing that. I don't know why, but I could totally see that that's probably what's going to end up happening. Worst case scenario, him just not being able to play baseball again, which would really suck at that point. But other than that, like I said, it was a pretty damn good episode. Also, before I end this, before I end this video for my spoiler review for Homecoming Season 2, Episode 15 finale, we got to talk about Amara and finding out that Marcus has a wife. And I caught, his wife's name on IMDb on the episode guide. His wife's name is Crystal. I was not prepared for Marcus to be married. That was a shocker. I can't believe he kept that hidden from Amara. And I definitely think that's going to affect probably their relationship going forward, which is sad because I've been loving that, things have been going great for, Amara and Marcus in their relationship, and, you know what I mean? And them kind of, coming back to one another because they were literally high school, I think they were high school sweethearts or college sweethearts or whatever. Like they've been through so much. And now that the fact that they finally got together to then find out when Amara for Amara to ask him to want to go on a trip with her, and and him saying but I have to get back before the new semester because I want to do some, I think he said he wants to do some classes to become kind of like a therapist or something like that, so we could start doing more therapy for the students around the school. And she was like, "Oh, Marcus, I'm so proud of you." And then that's when the door knock, it's someone knocking on the door, and then we end up finding out that it's, Marcus is like, "You can't be here." And then she's like, "Who are you?" And then that's when she says, "I'm Marcus's husband." Or Marcus's wife. Jesus, I said husband. I'm Marcus's wife. And it's kind of like a holy shit moment. So I do feel like that's going to affect things, which sucks. But at the end of the day, if Amara loves him, Amara loves him, as much as he loves her, I feel like they'll be able to get through it because he clearly does not love his wife anymore. But the question is that when she said, "I'm his wife," makes me wonder, did they not get divorced? So why didn't they get a divorce? And why is she back? These are questions I have. Like, why didn't they get a divorce if she said that I'm Marcus's wife? And also, why is she back all of a sudden? These are the questions I have, but I hope that Amara doesn't let this, stop the good things that are happening in their relationship. I hope, but I feel like that would make anybody kind of stop in place and be like, okay, before we go to the next level, I didn't know you had a wife. I didn't know you were still, and even if you did have a wife, why is she still your wife? And where's she been all this time? And why haven't you told me? Those are questions that Amara's going to ask Marcus. So honestly, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that going into season 3, but we'll have to just wait and see. I think I honestly hit everything about this episode. And yeah, honestly, like I said, it was a pretty damn good season finale. I'm excited to see if we, I don't know if we know this already, if we got confirmed for a season 3. If we did, let me know. Or if we didn't get confirmed for a season 3, I bet you we will. I feel like this kind of sums up we are getting a season 3, because if we weren't getting a season 3, they probably would have called this, series finale. So I do think that, we are getting another season. Like I said, guys, I'm up for it. I am. I guess it will depend on how yeah, I'm excited for season 3, but I think it will depend on what the trailers will be like for season 3 of All American Homecoming. That will really pique my interest or make me really want to come back and watch the show again, even though I'm really intrigued by what happened by the end of this episode with everybody, the way all these characters left everything off. But I need to really see what they're going to do in the season, in the trailer, that will really get me hyped going into season 3. Same with All American season 6, when we get that trailer. I need them to really try to impress me to make me want to fully devote watching that entire season. I need that to be a damn good trailer, because trailers are important. You know what I mean? It's yeah, the season finale of shows are important, but the trailers are what really makes people really want to devote their time to a show every week and stay for the entire season. You know what I mean? It's that's important, trailers. So I hope the trailers are good for both of these shows going into their next seasons. And guys, I'm really curious to know, yet again, what did you think about the season finale of All-American Homecoming Season 2? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Definitely let me know. If you love All-American Homecoming and you love All-American, definitely subscribe to the channel, put those notifications, like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, part of the fam, part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And yet again, guys, we are almost to 700 subscribers. That is the goal. Right now, we're at 680. I think we're at 680. As of right now, we're almost to 700 subscribers. So if you're new here and you come across my videos, definitely, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put in those notifications. But yet again, guys, don't forget to check out my merch shop up on Etsy. You know, it's literally at the Heroverse. Definitely go check it out. There's hoodies, t-shirts, and shoes up on my merch shop. Definitely go check it out. That's a way for you guys to even, like, on a bigger scale, spread my message of spreading love, positivity, and motivation. That's what the Heroverse brand stands for. That's what it means. I always live by that motto every day, and I love to hear when you guys live by my motto as well, and you guys share my message of spreading love, positivity, and motivation. So definitely, like I said, go check out my Etsy shop. It's literally at the Heroverse, so go check it out. But yet again, guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.